Hey everyone, I'm Megan, and today I would like to talk about homeschooling your children. So, firstly, what is homeschooling or unschooling? Unschooling is a non curriculum based learning that people take their children out of school. They don't have a curriculum that is state or government based, and they just teach them through life skills. Awesome. We do homeschooling, we have a curriculum base, which means we go through a school system that sends us the guidelines of what we teach them. The best part about that is we then get to take sections out of it, know that they're learning at the right pace, but also let them learn as a fun pace. So with our children, they learn a lot through play, where children in schools might be sitting down doing their ABC on paper. Ours will be out in the paddock. Ours will be out in the garden writing their letters and numbers in dirt and think that it's fun. They don't realize that they're learning, they're just having fun. And so as they're building sandcastles, they'll be counting them. And then when one falls down, they'll take one away. So they're doing maths. They do history. At the moment, we're doing a project, one letter a week, and we find, do, play, and eat everything of that letter of the week. So this week is R. And well, we've got a Roger and a Reuben in our house, so therefore that works out well for us. And then they make their letter out of all of them together. They look for words like Rosella, Ruby, Red Dog. They find all sorts of stuff that starts with the letter R, and they take photos and they do little films that show their teachers what they're learning. Why would you homeschool your kids? It's taking their education to be part of your life. So it's starting to take control of the way your children learn, instead of having them as robotic and drones that if they're in a class of 30, they get left behind if they haven't quite got the gist of something. But if they're too smart for, say, science or maths, they still get left behind because they get held at that one level. So they become the disruptive kid. Where with homeschooling, you can go, yeah, okay, you're increasing at that pace, so we'll get you there. Or you're struggling at this part, so we'll just keep you there and we'll just keep working until you either catch up or you're at a comfortable level. So basically, homeschooling is just a more holistic and enjoyable way of teaching your children, having them around you, enjoying their fun, their laughter, and being part of every stage of their life. So, homeschooling for us as a family of six is awesome. We've got a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So Naya, who is 6, she's in year 1. Roger, who is 5, is in kinder, and Reuben, who's 4, is in preschool. Which preschool means that loads of fun painting, making a mess, doing arts, crafts. And the part of that is little Gypsy, who is 2, is all part of that too. So she's doing everything each of these other children do, and they're doing everything that each of the other ones are doing. So when one's doing arts and crafts, although they're at different levels of fine motor skills, they're all doing it, which helps that right brain to really become artistic, to really engage, become creative, become who they are. And by the time that's fully developed, then they move across and become that left hand dominant academic side. So they're developing their brain at the right level for them. That's what homeschooling is all about for us. Everybody has a different reason as to why they might take their children out of school and teach them at home. We're very rural and isolated here, so for us, it's perfect. They get to travel with us. They get to have fun pretty much every day, but they still have to do some schoolwork. We don't force them to read. They are learning their phonics and everything like that at their rate, but they have fun doing it. We try to make sure that whatever they're doing is enjoyable. doesn't become a chore. So a lot of people, homeschooling for them seems to be a complication that they don't understand. And it's one of the most naive things I've heard about homeschooling, but also one of the most misunderstood and relevant questions that you can ever ask is, why would I homeschool my child when that means I have no life? Well, technically, you had children to enjoy. Obviously, you wanted them at some point, so they shouldn't be a burden. They shouldn't be a disruption to your life. And in fact, they should be a massive part of your life, your enjoyment out of life. So at some point, you wanted that sort of concept in your life. That's why you had children to start with. You didn't have children because you wanted to ship them off at 5 years old to an institutional school where somebody else took over the teaching and the bringing up of your child. You never thought about those things when you had children. In fact, what you thought about when you decided to have this cute, sweet little baby was that you can't wait to have this beautiful little baby and teach it everything you know. In Australia, we have so many forms of schooling, and a lot of people try to fit the schooling, their lives into the schooling. And this is where the misunderstanding comes. I fell into this myself. I tried to fit my life into homeschooling. And that's where you lose any joy out of it. It becomes a burden in your life. What you need to do is fit schooling into your life. That's why you've decided to school your children. You haven't decided to school your children to make an extra chore. It's not like washing up or doing the laundry. It's not a chore. It's part of a life. It's part of the enjoyment of life. So instead of trying to fit your life into homeschooling, fit homeschooling into your life. Don't stress that you are not fulfilling this, we must do this amount of work a week. When you talk to the school and tell them about your life, they understand and they actually try to change the curriculum to help you enjoy homeschooling more. They love people to homeschool their kids because the kids are getting a far more rounded education than what they can be taught in schools. So for us, we have a satellite education system, and that satellite education system means that our children, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, they have a half an hour lesson each on that face to face. So just like you and I are talking here, but the teacher is talking back to them and they're showing their work up under the camera. They talk to their classmates. And then there's the social events. They go to musters and that once a term. And then you've got all the other activities that you do with your children. So whether you take them to the beach, to a surfing club, whether you take them to a swimming club, whether you take them to tennis or anything, basically anything that you can imagine you would like to do with your children, they will learn from. And that's why you homeschool your children, because it becomes part of your life. You don't have to schedule a little holiday in for you and your children at school holiday times. You get to go, hey, it's the middle of the term. We'll take a couple of pages of schoolwork with you. We'll take a little book and you can write down everything you see and do over this next week. And we're going camping in the bush. We're going camping down the beach. We're going up the river canoeing. We're going horseback riding through the bush. We're going to a cooking outback camp place. They just learn so much through this constant flow of information. They're not just sitting at a computer. They're not just sitting at a desk. They're fully interactive with life. And that's homeschooling. You want them to be fully interactive with life. You don't want them engaged with just a computer or just a desk, the book. You want them out there climbing trees, which you're not allowed to do in school. You want them jumping from tire to tire. You want them to be riding their push bikes around and not finding it exhausting just to go to the front gate and back. You want them to be excited when they find an egg down the chook pen. You want them to have that joy and that enthusiasm for life, but still be learning life skills and education of them, the standard curriculum that you want. So, hey, if you're into it, give homeschooling a go. Ring up your local distance education system. Ring up your own local homeschooling people. Ring up Steiner, Rudolph Steiner School. They don't do homeschooling as per se, but they have that holistic approach that you want to teach your child. So get in contact with these people, find some groups, have a look through, have a an idea of how you really did when you had these children want to do with these children. Did you really envisage a 10-week cycle of an institutional school? Did you really envisage having to take only a week off and take a split and race up the coast, set up your tent, have a quick holiday, and then race back, get them back in their uniforms back for school? Did you envisage all this when you had your children, or did you have a far more open, holistic view before life decided that you need to do it this way? Have a look, check it out, and let me know what you think of homeschooling once you've had a look. Alrighty, but for now, have a look at our YouTube page, subscribe, press the little bell so you can stay up to date. If you'd like to see exclusive content that is posted nowhere else on the website, come across to our Patreon community. We really love you to be part of our tribe. Or jump across to our blog at www.yogahippy.com.au to read articles that we do on beekeeping, yoga, self-sufficient living, freestyle living, homeschooling, anything and everything. We do product reviews of things that we love and that we think are great and we use ourselves. These are all unpaid reviews. We do them because we think that the products that we review are awesome. So jump across, have a look, become a member, subscribe by email, and don't forget to press the little bell down here after you press subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.